10 questions for the real estate exam in 2025 and possibly 2026. We're back with 10 more practice questions for the real estate test. The way it works is I take these 10 questions just like a quiz. You guys follow along. We try and figure out the answers together. We read over the definitions. We figure out what we got wrong, and we move on to the next. This channel is dedicated to me passing the exam and you passing the exam. Subscribe for more real estate test questions, real estate test vocab, real estate test concepts, and if you want to pass the real estate exam soon, this is the channel for you. Let's get to the questions. All right, 10 questions here for the real estate sales exam. It's national plus California. So that means it's not only California, it's also national. If you're in other states, this will still help you. And we're on the subject of transfer of property. Question 1. A valid encumbrance affecting title of estate and land, such as mortgage or judgment, is called A, chattel mortgage, B, contract for deed, C, condemnation, D, cloud on title. A valid encumbrance affecting title of estate. An encumbrance doesn't sound good. Condemnation doesn't sound good. I'm going to try that one out. Check answer. Incorrect. Cloud on title is the correct answer. A cloud on title means that the property is not clear from liens. A cloud could be a mortgage or judgment. A chattel mortgage is a mortgage against personal property, not against real property. Next question. Question 2. What instrument would be used when the government conveys title to a private individual? A, patent deed, B, quitclaim deed, C, reconveyance deed, D, gift deed. What instrument would be used when the government conveys title to a private individual? I want to say a gift deed. The government conveys title. Incorrect. Patent deed. Okay, we're 0 for 2. We're going fast, but we're 0 for 2 already. Under homestead laws, when a landowner is given title by the government for making the land productive, he/she receives a patent deed. Transfer of property. We got to work on this one. Question 3. At what point does a deed transfer a grantor's interest to a grantee? A, upon delivery to and acceptance by the grantee. B, when the title insurance is issued. C, upon recording of the deed. D, when the grantor signs the deed. I don't think it's when the insurance, upon delivery and acceptance. I want to say upon recording of the deed. Let's try that one. Incorrect. 0 for 3. A was my second choice. A deed does not need to be recorded to effect transfer of real estate. When the deed is delivered to the buyer and accepted by the buyer, the buyer becomes the owner of the deeded property. While title insurance is not a bad idea, it is not an essential element for transferring real property. So as soon as it is accepted by the grantee, that means it's transferred. It doesn't have to be recorded. So that was the common mistake that I fell into the trap. Question 4. The real property which is subject of a trust deed is considered to be A, collateral, B, a mortgage, C, security for the debt, D, evidence of the debt. The real property which is subject of a trust deed is considered to be, I want to say security for the debt or evidence of the debt. Security for the debt. Incorrect. Okay, I wasn't even close. Again. Ooh, this one's rough. Maybe we don't post this one. All right, the correct answer was collateral. A promissory note, evidence of the debt, is backed up by the collateral, real property, which can be sold according to the terms of the trust deed security instrument. So we got to get some of these definitions and vocab words down too, because we're not even close. Question 5. A quitclaim deed conveys only the interest of A, the vendee, B, the grantor, C, the grantee, D, property. A quitclaim deed conveys the interest of, I want to say, the grantee. Incorrect. It's the grantor. The grantor and the grantee are the parties to a deed. A quitclaim deed transfers the interest of the grantor only. A grantee does not sign a deed. A vendee is the buyer in a land contract. Okay, guys. We're halfway through the video. We're 0 for 5 today. If you want your own set of test questions and you're annoyed with me missing 5 questions already and you think you could do better, click the link below. We have partnered up with Colibri. They have offered us 40% off everything on the website. Use the code Burke40. You can get your own questions just like this. I know you guys will do better than me. You'll get your own vocab. You'll get your own exam study material. You can also do your prerequisite courses for almost every state. Click the link below. Help support the channel. Thanks for watching. Let's get back. Hopefully we don't go 0 for 5 on the next 5. Question 6. Title to real estate is transferred when a deed is A, acknowledged, B, delivered and accepted, C, signed, D, recorded. So we need to know the difference between title and deed. We know deed is delivered and accepted. This one might be recorded. Or it could be delivered and accepted again. Let's just try recorded again. Incorrect. Okay, so they're both delivered and accepted. While a deed must be signed by the grantor and acknowledged by the grantor in front of a notary, a deed does not have to be recorded. The transfer of title occurs when the deed is handed to the buyer and the buyer accepts. So that doesn't need to be recorded either. Question 7. What clause allows a buyer to take over a loan, making payments without the lender's knowledge and consent? A, alienation clause, B, acceleration clause, C, subject to clause, D, assumption clause. I'm going to go with assumption clause. You're assuming the loan, but I'm not confident at all anymore. Incorrect. Question rationale. A subject to clause allows a buyer to take over a loan, making payment without the lender's knowledge and consent. The primary borrower is still liable for the debt. A subject to clause allows a buyer to take over a loan, making payment without. Okay. That's the subject to. We don't know what these ones are. We got to figure out what those ones are too. Question 8. The seizing of property by the sheriff to be held as security for a legal action is known as A, writ of attachment, B, writ of seizure, C, writ of execution, D, writ of possession. The seizing of property, writ of seizure. Writ of possession, writ of seizure or writ of possession sounds fun, like right. I'm gonna use the context clues and maybe they got me. Incorrect. Okay. Oh, I've never gone 0 for 10. This is really embarrassing, but this is good. We need to learn this stuff. Question now, rationale. A writ of attachment is the process by which the court holds the real or personal property of a defendant as security for a possible judgment pending the outcome of a lawsuit. A writ of attachment is where the court holds it. Seizing a property by the sheriff. Okay, question 9. The word escrow may refer to a safe deposit. A safe deposit box where a deed is placed. B, a transfer of a deposit from a salesman to a broker. C, money deposited in the bank and subject to depositors' withdrawal. D, the deposit of legal documents with a third person for future delivery. I know escrow is like your neutral third party thing. You can put your money in there and then that will pay your taxes and insurance. I don't. It's not a safe deposit box. I want to say it's the deposit of legal documents with a third person for future delivery. Let's check that. Correct. Hey, we didn't get them all wrong. We did not get them all wrong. Okay. Question rationale. At the closing of a real estate transaction, the deposit of funds or legal documents with a third party for future delivery is known as escrow. All right. Last question of the video. This has been a rough one, guys, but we've done better on past videos. There's a whole library of videos. Subscribe to the channel. Look down below. There's vocab test questions. There's some of them we get 20 out of 20. Some we get 10 out of 10. I swear I know a little bit. Question 10. Actual notice refers to A, the information you are presumed to know. B, something you actually have seen or know to be true. C, documents that are recorded at the courthouse regarding a person's property. D, the reasons why you should record a deal. Actual notice. The information you're presumed to know. Something you actually have seen or know to be true. Documents that are recorded at the courthouse. I want to say documents that are recorded. Incorrect. Something you actually have seen or know to be true. Actual notice refers to things you actually have seen or have actual knowledge of, as opposed to what you are presumed to know or could know by checking public records. That would be constructive notice, would be documents that are recorded at the courthouse. That's public records. Okay, we got 1 out of 10 correct. That's by far the worst we've ever done. We need to study up on transfer of property. Probably the next couple videos will be on transfer of property. If you guys think this one was a tough one, come back and watch these ones with me and study with me on these ones. Let's get back into the classroom. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I know that was a rough one today, but we have plenty of other videos where I did okay. We got all the answers. Today was 1 for 10. It was rough. I'm going to go back and study transfer of property. But thank you guys again so much for watching. Please subscribe if you want more test questions, more vocab, more concepts. We will pass the exam soon. Thank you guys so much for watching again. Have a nice day.